Hello everyone, my name is Franklin Bioga. I'm the creative director at TLU Properties and I'm excited to come your way again on this educative video. And today we're going to be talking about why land buying seems risky, right? Because in my course of doing the real estate business, I've come across a lot of persons who are have a very heightened level of fear around why they should buy land and the rest of them. So we're going to be dealing with that, in the next couple of videos. But today we're just dealing around land, right? And why it feels risky. The first one for me is because of a long history and stories of scams, and people losing monies, in land business. You hear land grabbers in Lagos, they're called Omaniles, and stuff like that. And so people are just naturally scared that, what if I buy land and then I find out tomorrow that the land document is fake, or I find out that, hey, I'm the second person this land was sold to, or, like in a personal experience, what if the size of the land that these guys say is not the actual size, all right? And so, first thing I want to say is that these fears are valid, all right? And one of the ways you can overcome fear is that, of course, you need to acknowledge that it exists and then see how you walk through them. So the fact that you have the fear is a valid thing. It's not out of place. It's okay to have the fear. In fact, it's a good thing because it was going to actually put you in the direction where you can make right decisions, all right? And so, that the fear of having, a long history of fear can come from a long history of land disputes, scams and the rest of them. So for me, I've had one or two experiences around transactions that didn't go quite well. For example, we got a particular property in the Highbrow area and they gave us a survey sketch of the property. And by the time we did the check after buying, we found out there was about 100 square meters less than what we were told. All right. And so the lesson for me there was, instead of buying after verifying the size, I verify the size before I buy. All right. So it's always important to do all of those checks. So how do you overcome that particular fear? You do all the necessary checks there is to do. And of course, you can be rest assured that checks are right and you're using the right set of people, lawyers, surveyors, experienced realtors, then you can make the right decision. The second reason is because land is intangible, right? It's an invisible, there are no visible structures on it. It's just bare land. Your brain is trying to attach value to something intangible. So you're like, just this empty space. Probably it's filled with grasses. And you guys are calling 50 million for here. And you're calling this 10 million there. And so that fear of attaching value to something intangible, as compared to houses, for example, you can touch the walls of the house. You can actually, see the rooms. You can feel the finishing. But then for land, you see bushes, you see emptiness, and you're like, what's going on here, right? So there's this psychological effect that brings. And so the work for you is to do the homework of telling yourself that, hey, this place might be empty, but this space is value. Once you attach value to it, that comfort, that peace is going to come in. And of course, it's going to naturally eliminate the fear. All right. Because land, requires a lot of imagination. So for me, when I go into places that I'm seeing bush, but every other person sees bush, but for me, I see much more than bush. All right. I'm seeing a city sitting there. I'm doing a lot of imaginative work so that it gives me the confidence to want to buy. And usually because I sell land too, I also try to paint the same picture to my clients, and so that they can see what I can see. Because if you can see the future on a bare land, it's easy for you to jump at it. So it kills that fear. So you have to be futuristic in your thinking. And you also need to understand that, hey, this place may be a bush today, but with delayed gratification, which is a law of wealth creation in financial space and even in real estate, you can make a lot of money for it. Most people are not trained to think this way, and that's why most people are afraid. And so you've come across this video. I'm saying do a lot of work around training your mind to understand that, hey, this place might be a bush, but this is how this city that I know of once was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Whatever part of town you stay in, you live in, whatever part of town that is bustling today was once bushy at some point. it took time, it took work, it took development, it took infrastructure to come into that for it to have value. And so you can begin by imagining that bush becoming that in the nearest future and work your psychology around that. Finally, the third reason why land buying seems risky for some persons is that because land is a long-term buy decision, all right, people are afraid of making a long-term mistake, all right, that's going to carry long-term consequences. Because one of the things that make real estate is that there's no easy exit, all right. You can buy a car today and sell it the next week. You can buy clothes today and sell it the next week. You can buy some goods today and return them the next week. But you can't really do that for land, all right. Again, land has to do with large amounts of money. Okay, so people are afraid that, hey, if I buy this land, all right, with large amounts of money, there might not be an easy exit if anything goes wrong. So it feels risky because of that, all right. And so the people ask, okay, what if there's documentation errors and stuff like that? So this is happening because people don't want to have regrets in the future and a lot of stuff like that. So how do you overcome this, all right? How do you overcome this? The same way you've identified that this is a long-term decision, also put the exact same work to doing the necessary research to ensure that this decision that you're about to make is an informed decision, not just an emotional decision. All right? You want to make the decision based on data, based on facts, and based on a lot of other consultations from authorities. That way, you can be rest assured that fear of making a long-term decision or a decision that has long-term consequences, that fear is going to die down. So what's the solution? Number one, do a lot of fact-checking around the area, fact-checking around the documentation, fact-checking around, what's possible based on historical data. All right. In this area, how has development grown? How fast has it grown? Has it gone? And what's prospects? What does government have an interest in this area? What's the plans for the area? Do all of those facts checking, and it's to a long extent, it's going to fuel your confidence to want to make that buying decision. And so we've identified these three things that makes land buying feels risky. But of course, we've also let you understand that, hey, in as much as it feels risky, it's just a psychological thing. If you can walk around it by doing the things we recommended in this video, then of course you can actually reduce the fear in that regard. And so, in summary, I'm simply saying that people have been in the shoe that you are right now before, and they were able to overcome the fear. And so if you are able to do the things that we've asked you to do in the video, of course, you will be able to overcome the fear as well and take action accordingly. Hey, guess what? It might feel risky, it might even sound risky, but hey, in the long term, it is absolutely highly rewarding. One of the most rewarding investment class is real estate. There are basically 4 investment classes. We have commodities, we have real estate, we have business, and we have paper assets. In all of these asset classes, the most exciting, the most rewarding is real estate. People have done real estate in time past and have gotten results. You too will get results if you get it right. Thank you so much for watching the video up until this point. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch this page for more educational content on real estate. It's been Franklin by Woga. See you on the next video. Thank you.